Are we in the top or at the top of the housing market? Prices are sky high right now in 2025, but is it the last call for sellers? Is it the end of the seller's market? Is it still a good time for investors to buy? I'm going to break that down in this video. Before we get started, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. It helps us grow the channel and put out more videos like this. Let's talk about sellers first. So I'm in Connecticut. It's still a strong seller's market. Every county, every area, there's not enough inventory. If you're thinking about selling in the next 1 to 3 years, this might be the perfect moment. Buyer demand is still strong. And this is in a lot of areas around the country. This isn't just Connecticut, but wherever there's a strong seller's market, chances are we're going to see a downturn. And I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. But the buyer demand is still strong. You're likely to get top dollar with few concessions. Rising mortgage rates, much higher than they were, say, in 2020, but coming near averages for the life of the mortgage industry. But fewer bidding wars are happening in a lot of areas, longer days on market in a lot of areas, lower offers, sometimes below asking, and much lower offers could be right around the corner as a lot of sellers have overpriced their home for the market. Many experts think that a slowdown is on the horizon, and the headlines are all starting to shift about the housing market. History gives us a clear warning. We've seen at least 4 major housing dips in the last 45 years, at least in my adult life. And here's how deeply they really went. In the early 1980s, home prices fell nearly 50% in many markets due to interest rates exceeding 18%. That's when I bought my first home. From 1989 to 1995, real prices dropped about 34%. Now, between the mid 80s and 89, the prices rose back up. The big one, when I'm an adult, I'm in the building industry, I've got a big construction project going, and fall of 2008, the biggest market collapse in our history. And prices hit nearly 40% drop for housing. You couldn't get mortgages on many types of houses. Condominium projects were shut down. This was horrible in the country, and those drops persisted. We bought our home in 2006. The price nearly dropped probably 30%, 40%, and it took almost 10 years for the price to come back. So that's the caveat. If you're in it for the long haul, if you're going to buy a house and raise your children, it doesn't really matter. You buy the house when you buy the house, because overall, the life of your mortgage, if you stay in that house for 20 or 30 years, you're going to see a 4% average return on your investment, and you're going to have a great place to live. So that's one of the reasons why there's still close to 4 million transactions in 2024. You're going to have people that are buying for other reasons other than trying to make money on their house, which that's not the best reason to buy a house. Do you think we're going to have a housing dip? Or do you think prices will continue to rise? I'm very interested in your thought process, because when I was a kid and I saw that high price and 18% mortgage rates, I never thought they would come down, but they did. What do you think? Is homeownership going to be out of touch forever? Leave a comment below. During the dot-com bubble of 2000, that caused a temporary softening of the market, but it didn't match the others as severely. So if you wait, you might find yourself chasing the market again. What could a dip look like? So as you've seen in the past 3, you could see a 5% to 10% drop in pricing if more prices come on the market and interest rates stay high. You can see a 15 to 20% market correction. Now, there are a lot of people talking about affordability of housing. So there's a lot of shifts going on. And how do you make housing affordable? Either the housing prices drop, the inventory increases, the mortgage rates drop. There's a lot of factors. So you have to take that into consideration. Worst case scenario is you could see a 30% or higher drop in your housing prices. For you young investors out there, and we're going to start talking about investors in a little while, don't think that you're going to miss the market or you'll never be able to buy a home if you're not ready to buy a home today in 2025, if you're not ready to buy your first investment property, because markets go down and go back up. So you're going to have your chance if you're not ready right now. But if you're ready to sell right now, this might be the best time of your life. So if you're going to move within the next 1 to 3 years, now's the best time, because you could have this market drop within 6 months. It doesn't matter. It could just drop and you miss the boat. So let's talk about real estate investors. If you're a new investor, this part is for you. Should you buy now or should you wait for the dip? There's a smart money as waiting for the dip. A lot of very professional and seasoned investors love when the market tanks because they're just going to buy it up. So if you can hoard some money, if you have something to sell now where you could put some cash in the bank, don't be in a big rush to just buy something else. Interest rates are still rising. They're up one day, they're down, but they're still below historic norms. So, interest rate, if the house cash flows, the house cash flows. If it doesn't, it doesn't. doesn't. Rental demand is very strong, especially among people locked out of home ownership. So tough rental market. Again, here in Connecticut, it's a tough market. So if you're planning on holding for 10 years and your deal cash flows, short-term dips don't really matter. But if you're going to buy something and you're going to be strapped, maybe wait until the market drops a little bit. It's going to happen. Okay, so if you buy now and the prices fall, you could be underwater before your first tenant moves in. So that could be a big issue. I have people that have bought, these flip type houses. They bought them, they fix them, and they want to rent them. They can't get a rent because they're asking too much because of the cash flow they need to pay their investor that gave them the money to the house. So it's a double-edged sword. When you go into these flips, and we're going to do a video just on flips because it looks wonderful on TV. It's a very tough business to get into and to make money at it. Here's some smart strategies for 2025. Cash flow is first, always. If you don't have 50% cash flow to work with for all your other bills, it's probably not looking like a good deal. Look at that multifamily, and if you're the first time buyer, of course, look at the FHA, the USDA, the VA, all these programs that have very low money down. Even conventional, some banks are starting to offer that low money down for first time buyer or multifamily. Look at Section 8 again. We like Section 8 if you get the house in the right area. They have its caveats to Section 8, but Section 8 is a good program to be involved with. If you're new to investing, I see a lot of stuff on the internet. I see a lot of people talk about buy in the areas where there's a big rental market. If you live in Connecticut, buy your property within a half an hour, 45 minutes, you're going to get phone calls. And usually new property owners, smart ones anyway, they don't have management companies running a single multifamily house. They're going to take up all your profit. And here's a little trick. Multifamily management companies tack on 10%, 20% for every single thing they do. Every phone call costs you money. Every time they have to visit the property, every time they have to order a service. So you can do that. If you want to really be a property owner and make money, you have to manage your first few properties yourself and learn how to do it. If you find a great deal in a stable market, buy it. When the correction comes, you want to strike fast. So save your cash if you can. Put together as much cash because we are going to have a downfall. Now, the next question is, can the government help make housing more affordable? What's being done to make home ownership affordable? There were programs throughout history. The Fed could lower rates, but don't count on it too soon because of inflation. FHA programs expand, higher limits, easier qualifications. They could do that. FHA is a great program for first-time buyers. Tax breaks for first-time buyers, more tax on interest on your loan. Zoning reform can open the door to more development. We have such a difficult time in Connecticut to do home development. We have one of the big companies in the country, Toll Brothers, finished. They're done. They don't have anything here. There's not enough land in Connecticut. There are local grants. We have a program right now in Connecticut where buyers get $25,000 forgivable down payment assistance. It's great. Whether good credit, you could have your own additional down payment, but $25,000 is a lot of money. They've expanded that program. A lot of our small banks offer a discount on the interest rate. So if the going rate is 6, you might get a 5.5. Same thing if you're a veteran. There's banks that offer veterans discounts up to a half a point. So this 2025 market is on its edge. I had a family member way back before the 80s crash. They could have got a $140,000 for a tiny little home, and they passed on selling it, and a couple of years later they sold the house for $75,000. So that's the big trick, home sellers. If you're in a home and you think you're going to be moving in 1 to 3 years, this is probably going to be your highest return on that home's value than ever before. So if you can rent or you're moving south or whatever you're doing, this is a great time to sell your home. The 2025 market is on edge. If you're a seller, this could be your best chance. If you're a buyer, patience may pay off. Preparation pays. Focus on cash flow, location, and long-term strategy. Real estate isn't about timing the market, it's time in the market. Your entry point does matter. I hope this has helped you think differently about the real estate market. Hit the like button and subscribe for more real estate insights. And drop a comment. Are you buying, selling, or waiting it out?